So guys, what's going on? Joseph Parker knocks out Shondell Winters in devastating fashion. Great right hand. And I think this was just a comeback fight for Joseph Parker. After, his losses against Dillian Whyte and Anthony Joshua, he needs to get back on, on the gravy train. And here's the thing. I think Joseph Parker needs a big fight. I've always been a big fan of Joseph Parker. He's not quite reached the level I thought he would reach. I actually thought this guy would be one of the best heavyweights in the world, but I think he's below the elite level, unfortunately. So my early prediction of him was wrong. You know what? I was really impressed early on with his career. I was really impressed. But as his opponent stepped up, he's not been that great. Now, Dillian Whyte's a top fighter, and he almost beat Dillian Whyte. It was life and death kind of stuff. He had him down in the 12th. Dillian Whyte hanged on, and I think that's a fight that really could be made in the future. But I don't think Dillian Whyte's going to pursue a world title shot, and I think the Joseph Parker fight may happen in the future after that, because I think Joseph Parker's too risky of an opponent for someone like Dillian Whyte right now. I think that's a bit of a dangerous fight because, although we fought him in the past and beat him, I think Joseph Parker is very slick, very good. And I think Joseph Parker would have learned from that experience and he'll come back stronger. Let's not forget, Parker's not very old. He's young. Joseph Parker needs big fights. They were talking about him and Chisora. I think that was a great fight. I think I would love to see Joseph Parker v, Usyk. That's a great fight. Listen, there's some good fights to be made for Joseph Parker. The Joseph Parker v Michael Hunter, that's a good fight. Povetkin's obviously going to fight Dillian Whyte. What about Joseph Parker v Lewis King Kong Ortiz? That's a good fight. Why not Eddie Hearn make that? Maybe Eddie Hearn should look to make Joseph Parker v Lewis King Kong Ortiz. We know that Luis Ortiz is kind of the boogeyman. He gets avoided by everybody. Nobody really fights him. A lot of people say he's not fought anybody. He's not got a great resume. Well, no one really fights him. Who says, I want to fight Luis Ortiz? And maybe this is an opportunity for Joseph Parker to stamp his authority and fight Luis Ortiz and beat him. This way, Joseph Parker would gain a lot of credibility in my eyes if he can beat Luis Ortiz. But I do think that's a tough fight. I do think that's a dangerous fight because Joseph Parker doesn't have the punching power of a Deontay Wilder, and Luis Ortiz has got a very good chin, although I do think Luis Ortiz now is very vulnerable to being knocked out. We saw that in the Wilder fight. He has got older. He does look a bit vulnerable, so I think, maybe Parker, this is the right time for Parker to get him. But leave your thoughts. Let me know what you think, guys. Joseph Parker destroying Shondell Thomas. What do you want to see Joseph Parker do next? Leave your thoughts in the comment section below, guys. And guys, remember to please like, share, subscribe to my channel. I'll see you guys in the next video. So guys, Chocolatito Gonzalez beats up Cal Yafai. Upsetting that Khalid Yafai took a loss. I think he was definitely moving forward with his career, and I thought, he was going places. Unfortunately, a lot of people thought that Roman Gonzalez was at the end of the road, and Cal Yafai was going to be able to take advantage of that. The fact that Roman Gonzalez had taken a couple of losses, people thought he was over the hill a little bit. They didn't think he was quite the same fighter he once was. But you know what? Roman Gonzalez turned up, and Roman Gonzalez showed that there's levels in this game. He beat up Cal Yafai, and we have to say that wasn't the very best Roman Gonzalez. A couple of years, 4 or 5 years ago, Roman Gonzalez was on top of the pound for pound list. Most people had him number 1 pound for pound. He's a legend in the game. He's one of the very elite, and it sets up that Estrada rematch. But not just that, what Roman Gonzalez has shown by this devastating performance against Cal Yafai, that he's still got a lot left. And Roman Gonzalez is here to stay. Unfortunately, Cal Yafai just, I think, came against a very motivated, very good Roman Gonzalez. And let's be honest, Cal Yafai, even at 100%, isn't going to beat even a 90 or 85% Roman Gonzalez. Roman Gonzalez is an unbelievable legend. Like I said, a legend, one of the all-time greats. In the lower weight classes, he was the one that people used to really talk about in the lower weight classes. So there's no shame in Cal Yafai losing to him. I think here's the thing. I think a lot of people thought Roman Gonzalez was over the hill, and they thought Cal Yafai would beat him. And Roman Gonzalez may be over the hill, but maybe that over the hill Roman Gonzalez is still good enough to beat Cal Yafai. We're going to find out a lot more when he fights Estrada. But, you know, like I said, I've always been a fan of Roman Gonzalez. Roman Gonzalez is an unbelievable talent. You know, Yafai can come again. You know, there's no shame in losing to Roman Gonzalez, Chocolito. There's no shame. You know, losing to one of the best pound for pound, or not anymore, but, you know, a couple of years ago, he was the best pound for pound guy out there. You know, so there's no shame. And he was up there for a couple of years as well. It wasn't like he was up there for like he was up there for a couple of years. So he cemented his place. He was up there. So he's a great fighter. And I think you know, Yafai has got fights domestically. Maybe he could fight Charlie Edwards. Maybe there's fights out there for him. But, you know, against Roman Gonzalez, that's a no-go. You know, it was a one-sided beatdown. You know, he tried his best, but, you know, Gonzalez was just too good. Leave your thoughts, guys. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. And, guys, remember to please like, share, subscribe to my channel. I'll see you guys in the next video. So, guys, what's going on? Mikey Garcia beats Jesse Vargas in a very good fight. In a fight that I watched. I got up for it. And, you know, early on, Jesse Vargas was doing well. Then Mikey Garcia started taking over. He put him down with you know, Jesse Vargas was very open and he was taking right hands flush. What that does say is that Mikey Garcia's power can be questioned at 147. I don't think he has got any power. He caught Jesse Vargas, hurt him with a good right hand, put Jesse Vargas down, but wasn't able to finish Jesse Vargas off. And I think that again shows that if it was a guy at 140, 135, you know, Garcia would have got him out of there. Because Vargas is a naturally bigger man, you know, Garcia struggled with his punch. I don't think at that weight he punches very hard, if I'm honest with you. I don't think he does. Genuinely don't think he does. And they're talking about, you know, Mikey called out Manny Pacquiao. I don't believe Mikey Garcia can win a world title at 147. I just think it's too big. I think it's too big a leap. I think, you know, against Jesse Vargas, we know Jesse Vargas isn't an elite. He's a good fighter, very good fighter, but he's not an elite welterweight. You know, he definitely puts up a good account of himself every time he steps up. But, you know, we know that he's not Manny Pacquiao. We know he's not Terence Crawford. We know he's not Errol Spence. And when you look at Mikey Garcia, you got to judge him against those guys. And he's just too small. And I don't think he has the skills to beat those guys. I think those guys are just better than him as well. I think Terence Crawford beats him. I think Manny Pacquiao would beat him. And I think, you know, I actually think Manny Pacquiao would take that fight. Because I think Manny Pacquiao may look at that fight against Mikey Garcia as a fight he wins, and it's a good big money fight in Saudi Arabia. So Manny Pacquiao jumping in a fight with Terence Crawford would be dangerous because he could lose that. But Manny Pacquiao against Mikey Garcia, it's less risk in my opinion, and high reward if the fight takes place in Saudi Arabia. However, I don't think Mikey Garcia is going to be able to beat the champions. I think he needs one more fight just to prove himself. I would love to see him fight someone like Josecito Lopez. I was actually thinking about this the other day. Maybe even a fight with Khan. You know, if Manny Pacquiao obviously wants to fight in Saudi Arabia against Mikey, fair enough. But Khan v Garcia could be a big fight in Saudi Arabia. And let's be real. I don't think the fight against the champions is a competitive fight, right? I think Mikey loses to all the champions quite comfortably as well. But a Khan fight could be quite a good fight. You know, Khan's naturally bigger. He's still got a bit of speed. You know, and I think that could be a good fight. And it's a big fight in Saudi Arabia. So I'm not totally against it. I think that could be a fight that, you know, interests people actually. No one's probably thought about it, but I do think Manny Pacquiao beats Mikey Garcia quite comfortably. But I do think Mikey Garcia wants to fight with Manny Pacquiao. Let's see if that can. I think that may happen. I think that may happen, if I'm honest with you. I think Manny Pacquiao will look at Mikey Garcia as a big money fight and a less risky fight compared to the other guys. And then he knows that he beats Mikey Garcia, can always fight someone else at the end of the year or the next year. So, you know, the gravy train continues, where a fight with Errol Spence and Crawford, although I think Manny can win those fights, I think they're much harder and he could lose. And if he loses, then obviously at his age, there's going to be questions whether he's going to retire or not. So, you know, this way, if he keeps winning, you know, people are gonna say, well, you know, Manny still looks great, he's still winning. I'm interested. I'm interested to see what happens, but I do get a feeling Manny may fight Mikey Garcia next. Is that the fight you guys want to see? Do you want to see Manny Pacquiao v Mikey Garcia next after Mikey Garcia's performance? I think his performance against Jesse Vargas just proved to me that although he's a good fighter, I don't think he's going to be able to be a match for Manny Pacquiao personally, because I think Manny Pacquiao's got very good chin. He'll eat Mikey Garcia's punches, and then he'll give Mikey Garcia he'll outpoint him. I think Mikey Garcia's got a good chin, but I think Manny will outpoint him, if I'm honest. But leave your thoughts. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. And guys, remember to please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. I'll see you guys in the next video.